Dalmia Cements is into textiles, they're into sugar, they're into some equipment manufacturing. Now the company has actually announced the demerger of all these businesses. So instead of actually looking at one stock and taking an exposure to one stock, you probably in a month, 2 months time will have different companies to take exposure to depending on which business you like. The management joins in. Mr. Puneet Dalmia is Vice President at Dalmia Cements. Puneet, thanks so much for taking out the time and being with us here on Profit. Good morning. Prashant this side. Run us through what you're doing and why you're doing this.
Yeah, I think our existing structure is a conglomerate structure where investors have to take exposure in all the businesses in one stock. We are creating pure play entities. There will be one cement company and a power company, and there will be another sugar company. So investors will have access to pure play entities and can choose which business they want to invest in. We think that the current Dalmia Cement shareholders will get one extra share of a cement and power business, and each business can grow independently. The current structure, the new structure will enhance transparency and accelerate our growth. So we are very hopeful that it's a long-term positive and it will enhance shareholder value in future.
Okay. What's your plan? Do you expect or do you plan to take these two new entities to the market soon?
I think this is subject to regulatory approvals and creditor and shareholder approvals. We think the process will get concluded in 6 to 8 months. So by October to December 2010, this will be listed.
You talked about creating pure play entities. So investors, yes, it gives them a clear line of business to focus on. On the other hand, it also increases a little bit of the risk associated with that business. There is no immunization from another business line. Let's just talk about the outlook that you have for cement and power, because that's going to be critical to the performance of the new entities.
We have already said that in the cement business, we want to be a pan-India player. And our next phase of expansion is a 10 million ton expansion, where we are planning to invest 4,500 crores. So this structure will enhance our flexibility to raise capital to fund that expansion. In the power business, our current exposure is all captive power, although we are selling 10% on merchant basis. But we are in the process of developing some merchant power projects, which are in early stages of development at the moment. But over the next 3 to 5 years, we will develop the power business separately and put it on an independent growth trajectory.
What about the refractory business? Where is that going to be housed?
I think currently it will reside in the existing Dalmia Cement Bharat Limited, and in this phase we haven't really addressed creating a separate entity for that business.
In the southern region, how is the situation looking now? Because the cement business had suffered.
I think the infrastructure problems are there all over the country, and the problem has not eased yet. But the excise duty increase has been passed on to the customers, and there is a freight increase because of increase in diesel prices. So currently demand is very good and prices have actually firmed up.
How is the sugar business panning out in your assessment? We've had a lot of views recently. Prices have peaked off. What's your own assessment? We think that the demand supply scenario in the sugar business is positive. So though there is short-term volatility, we expect prices to move northwards from the current levels. And we think the structure basically is a long-term vehicle, and this will enable the sugar business to grow independently, and it will increase transparency for our shareholders.
Puneet, I think I can predict the answer to my next question, but it's worth asking anyway. You've been talking to private equity players for a while now for your cement operations. I could ask for names. I'm sure I'm not going to get them. But what about timelines? I mean, when do you hope to actually close the deal?
I think right now we can't talk about that. but we are in advanced stages of discussion and we hope to conclude a transaction in the next 8 weeks.
Fine, pretty much an answer on expected lines, but 8 weeks timeline, that's what Puneet is saying for closing the private equity talks that have been on for a while as far as the cement business of Dalmia Cements is concerned. You know, value unlocking is such a broad term, Puneet, but when, you know, you have to send a message to your investors, what exactly do you hope to achieve from this demerger?
I think in the last 3 months, the share price has already gone up from 150 to 250 rupees. We think that once the market absorbs this structure, which we feel is a very positive structure to enhance growth and increase transparency long term, we think there will be further upside from here, but I think that is for the investors to judge. And we hope that investors will realize the benefits of this structure and the share will react positively.
All the best, Puneet. Thanks very much for making the time to be with us on Profit. Hope to catch up with you soon again. Cement, sugar, two spaces of activity these days. Hope to catch more of Puneet Dalmia right here on the channel.
And the thing with both the businesses, Manvi, is that there's a lot of uncertainty about you know, sugar prices and cement prices as well. Although cement probably is doing a lot better, stocks are doing a lot better compared to some of the sugar stocks recently. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the management at SL